No hiccups.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. So I'm just curious about your background. What kind of medical doctor are you?
I'm a neurointensivist. Neurointensivist means that the brain ICU doctors, I work with patients with head trauma, stroke, brain aneurysm, bleeding into the head.
Wow.
Anything related to brain and spine.
Do you own 100% of the business?
Victor and I, we have 50% share of the business of Hic Away.
What happened to Amanda? She's the best looking one here.
My niece, actually, she working for our marketing.
Yeah, so I'm the head of marketing and I get a commission on sales. I didn't put up any money. I don't have equity. I'd love to one day, but I'm very involved in this and it is like my baby.
So what do you sell them for?
Yeah, we sell them for $14 and they are wholesale for $6.
And what does it cost you to make?
It costs 70 cents.
And where are you selling them?
Currently on Amazon and our website, and then we're actually at a big box retailer in Texas.
We've sold 21,000 units so far, which is $300,000 in sales since we launched July of last year.
Let me get the bidding going here, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of interested people. Right? I'm not going to be one of them. I'll tell you why. I'm one of those moms, whenever my kid was sick, I could never find the thermometer. I'm just having a problem thinking that I'm going to get my hands on this.
Yeah.
It's going to be readily there when I need it. So I wish you luck, but I'm out.
Thank you, Barbara. But let me tell you this. You know, I was surprised when I found in Forbes magazine, actually they published in 2019 that hiccups was the third most common search in the whole world. And this is for the healthcare. People are looking for it.
I wonder at the point of purchase how much skepticism there would be seeing it there. I'm not saying it doesn't have merit, clearly it does. I'm just thinking it's a tough sell to convince people that it actually
seems intuitive, though. I mean, I think when people see something out on the market like this, I mean, it is so unique. I don't think there's other ones out there. I haven't done the research, but I don't think there's anything else out there like it. The issue for me really is need. I'm just not sure how many people feel they need to have it. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Guys, look, I'll save a lot of time. I love it. Anything that solves a medical problem that really bothers people in one way or the other and has the science to back it up is a good thing, right? Yeah. It's not something that you're just going to blow up and have 100,000 units sold in a day, right? It's a slow burn, and you want it. It's only been around how many years?
1 year.
1 year.
1 year. So it's going to take time for people to know that it's there. But this, I guarantee you, this will become part of everybody's medicine cabinet. Guaranteed, right? So I'll make you an offer, right? And I just want a yes or no.
Yeah, Mark really stuck to his guns there, huh?
He did. Yeah. Well, what's your take on the product there, Matt?
Hey, I mean, I love simple product design, right? That's, effective and, durable. It's not a one and done kind of product, which is cool from a consumer standpoint. I like it. I think it's cool. I mean, I like peanut butter better, but,
Yeah, it's simple. I got to be cheaper. I hadn't heard of the product before. I get hiccups from time to time, but mine usually resolve within 10. Like as soon as you forget about it, just 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
Some people apparently like Damon have hours. That would be atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, I've known a couple people who are have chronic hiccups. Right. Yeah. There was a gal in one of my law school classes. She'd hiccup all class, all year for 3 years.
Right. Well, I was bummed they didn't ask about patents, but there are some patents attached to this, interestingly enough, and they didn't mention one little tidbit that I think probably came up in the back room.
I was curious about that because someone mentioned what's to prevent me from just using a straw and making it it's like should have said my patent.
Yeah. Well, I thought was really fascinating too is that there's a university involved here. So at least the Board of Regents at the University of Texas is the assignee on this utility. So there has been some funding, perhaps some linkage there, perhaps with Ali, Mr. Ali's Dr. Safe. Maybe he's a professor or adjunct. Somehow they got some funding to do the research, perhaps, for this. But it's now owned. Maybe they sold it to the University of Texas. So they've that's their current status. You can see that here.
Yeah.
Assignee. The utility, it looked like a nice utility app. They got a really good set of drawings and description, and their claim is a nice 3 or 4 element claim. So it is definitely a device. A device claim is really powerful as long as it's not too specific on the limitations. But it's got a a body, a first end, a first hole that's smaller. There's basically two separate apertures. One is for obviously taking the liquid up, and the other was for generating that pressure they're talking about. I've never heard of this part of your body called the epiglottis. That's probably that valve he's talking about.
Yeah, it's at the back of your throat there.
Is that okay? There you go. And a rotable cover. So actually it seems pretty tight. So congrats to them on that. I do also see there's design patent was issued too. So not just the utility, but also the way that it looks. So, and this one is interesting, assigned to, I believe it's their company called Higher Innovations. I'm assuming that's what it is. The recent assignment into the ownership residing with the entity. There's what it looks like, and it looks about what we saw on the video. You've got an adult and a child version, and like you were talking about earlier, Matt, a lot of these additional features are not claimed. So this is in dashed lines. They're kind of just showing what it would look like. But what's in solid line is, of course, the outer three-dimensional shape with the ridges here. They felt that was important distinction, and so that's part of their claimed design. So kudos to them for getting that, and I think that's going to be a major part of what will keep them in a competitive edge moving forward. And they've got their website, Hic Away. And I did not get a chance to do research on see how they've done post Shark Tank, but it's been pretty recent. So Mark Cuban, I'm sure, has got some connections to try to get that product out. Anything to react with regarding the trademark side?
What was the brand again?
It's Hic, Hicc, Away.
All right. Yeah. So they have multiple registrations here for Hic Away. Interestingly enough, they have two different designs. That's why. One's like a horizontal stack and the other's a vertical stack. So they are registered for, devices. We have lots of clients that we work with on medical device technology or medical tangential products. Do you happen to know when you have to start, going through FDA for this kind of stuff? How invasive, or because they're making a medical claim, right?
Yeah, I think there's at least a class one. There's different classes, and I'm not an FDA regulations person, but class one is where you have to follow what's called a 510K. The FDA has to look at it with your claims and basically give it a approved or not in terms of whether it has enough efficacy. Sure. I think it's class two and certainly class three, I think, is where you got to do clinical trials, and it's much more involved pharmaceutical stage. But it's a really good question. Actually, I just connected.
Yeah, because it's so borderline, right? It feels like a novelty thing, but like they're making medical claims about the body and like what it can do.
Yeah.
So maybe it is that class one categorization. Yeah. I don't know.
Right. That's what most medical devices, as long as they're not like in the body or changing, being in sort of like a prescription, requiring a prescription.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of inherent danger here, so maybe it's not worth regulating that. So I don't know.
Yep. Let's see. So we had the big news on the USPTO fee change.
Yep.
Anything else coming on the pike in terms of news for IP law or anything you've got your eye on?
Nothing at this point. I should probably take a look at see what the Supreme Court's up to. But we haven't had any big cases in the last year or so. So no,
right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I was kind of digging. The last news I had was back in December. At the time, USPTO director Kathy Vidal did retire, resign, so there's no currently named director. I think there's a intermediary right now. So we're waiting to see who gets appointed by the new president, which will be sworn in on Monday. So that's probably the newest information I've got on that.
Should be interesting. It's typically not a very political position, is my understanding.
Right. Yeah, right.